Yeah, what up, y'all? What's happening with y'all, man? Mr.Real Talk with another episode of Mr.Real Talk for y'all, man. This evening, man, on Friday night. Can't be late. Gonna get you some steak. Got you a hot date. Nah, seriously though. Like, yo, thank y'all for tuning in, joining in, watching Mr. Real Talk, supporting me and all that good stuff, man. I really appreciate y'all. And like I told y'all before, man, I'm having people on with me, man. Real people, like people on my social media, people I've been banging with for years and stuff like that. Some of these individuals I never met, but they willing to come on, have a conversation, good topics and shit like that, man. So that's why I'm hyped up and I'm so excited to bring different people on. This week, man, on Mr. Real Talk, we got my girl Tiffany, man. She came on the show. And, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about relationships and shit, dating and relationships, you know what I'm saying, today. And the dynamics of dating today and preferences. That's what I think we should talk. We talk about the dating and the preferences we have within the dating dynamic. So that's what we're going to discuss, today on Real Talk, man. Tonight on Real Talk, man. So I'm going to introduce y'all to my girl, Tiff. How you doing, Tiff? Thank you for coming on, Mr. Real Talk. That's your camera right there. You can look. I don't care. That shows this, you know what I mean? So looking, look at the people and tell them. So tell them a little bit about yourself, Tiff.
Well, I'm an older young lady. A mother of 5.
Okay.
Single. With situations going on.
Situationships, okay. Any entanglements?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
A very hectic one. Yes. Yes. Very complicated one.
Okay. Sound toxic, but okay.
It's very toxic. Yes, very toxic. I don't advise this at home.
Okay. That's what I'm saying, man. With 5 kids, man, motherfucker shoot that club. You got some good, you must got that good, I'm gonna joke. I'm gonna keep it real. I tell all women that got 3 kids or more, you got some good pussy. Because motherfuckers don't know how to pull out. So I can imagine. I'm just, I don't know. I never, but I can imagine, shit, goddamn, motherfucker. Anyway. So like I said, Tiffany, go ahead and tell you got 5 kids, single and out here dating, and that's what we're gonna talk about is dating and the preferences you have and what you look for in a man, what you want out of a man. And then I'll chime in and tell you, what from the male perspective on what we like and what we look for within a woman today in today's world. So you go ahead and take the mic. What you think about the men today? Do you think these men are too sensitive today?
There's no censor on this, is it?
No, hell no. Do you?
I really think a lot of the men today is pussy. And the reason why I'm going to say that is no offense. They a little too soft, a little too emotional, a little too dramatic and over the top. They not, that daddy fatherly love, that vibe that most men had like back in the day.
Yeah.
You could tell that was absent. You could tell they was raised by their mother. You could tell they have like mommy issues.
Definitely can.
They want to be coddled. They want to be babied. They want to be treated like your child,
right.
And I'm just not feeling it. Being an independent, strong woman, meaning holding down my own, taking care of my responsibilities, and standing on business. A lot of men cannot do what I do on a regular basis.
Okay.
So, as a woman, sometimes it leaves a sour taste in our mouth because you just want men to rise all together. You want to be there rubbing their back and motivating them, but you do not want another child.
Yeah. I get it, man. Confidence. So that's another thing too. Is even his confidence got to come into play. Like, is he confident within himself? Is he secure within himself? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like I guess like we all got this person that arrives when you first meet the person. Hey, hi, how you doing? I'm such and such. Blah blah blah. But we don't know these individuals at all. Like he could be a complete fraud front, something like that, or like I said, fraud.
That's the case. Most of the times you're meeting a representative, and then as time go by, you kind of start fucking with somebody that you realize is just an asshole. And I hate to put it out there and say it like that, but the representative is going to tell you everything you want to hear. They're going to be the man that they think you need. But then as you deal with them, the insecurities come out, we discussed before, like the financial dynamics of it plays a part. If a woman has like everything going for herself, it's kind of a complex within itself that they have. Like I really can't give her everything that she needs. I can't pay all these bills. I can't, keep a certain lifestyle. But I want the bitch. This is how they thinking. I want the bitch, but I can't afford the lifestyle and the things that come along with it. So they'll be.
So that comes with pressure. That comes with pressure.
It do. So they content to have any piece of you. And even if it's just sleeping with you and showing up occasionally, going out and having a little fun and then pull back a little bit, you know, they're willing to do that if the woman don't put their foot down and say, listen, you know, this not working. This not it.
I think, like you said, like, it's just a time we live in. Okay, like in the area we live in, we come from let's just be honest, our era was a doughboy era. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where a lot of men was like outside, you know, and with the activities and doing those different, like, we come from the straight doughboy era. Let's keep it a bean, the crack era. When the dope came, and a lot of drug dealers was very supportive in their families. Like, we come from that area, and a lot of fronting came from that area too, because some dudes was getting money and some dudes wasn't. Some dudes looked like they was getting money the whole time they wasn't. So it come into play, like, when you trying to date, now we older, like, bro, you not who you was back in the day no more. A lot of men having those issues.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not popular no more. You're not it. First of all, you was never good looking at all. So you got women because, like, you was that, you know, you was getting money. Like, let's keep it a bean, dog. Like, you ain't, you know, you look like Alf. You know what I'm saying? You look like a
Alf, though.
You look like fucking Valcor off of Never Ending Story, dog. Like,
let it go. Let it go.
Yeah, let it go. You ain't him. So now you ain't getting the money no more. And now the insecurity is that fault. Your girl's still bad because she was always bad. You got her because who you was and what you was. And now you're not that no more. So that's an insecurity issue. Now you beating yourself up like, damn, I ain't that bull no more. So now you try to overcompensate. And so sometimes it causes conflict. Your woman trying to figure the fuck out the whole time. You stress the fuck out because you just trying to keep your woman, just trying to keep your home and shit, man. But sometimes it's a little communication, man. Like this little communication. Look, man, like, babe, I ain't never been the best looking nigga ever. You know, I know you ain't get me to my looks. Yeah, I know you ain't come at me to my looks. Let's keep it a bean. You know, it was because who I was. You still,
they not doing it.
And she gonna tell you straight up, you might be right, but I love your ass. And that's all you probably should need to hear.
They not doing it.
I ain't going. That's what I'm saying. They not having that conversation.
They not having that conversation.
Yeah,
man. They telling the old war stories.
Yeah,
though. You know, I was getting money.
Yo.
You know, I ran with them boys and I seen a couple of dollars, and I'm thinking in my head,
in the past,
like,
man.
that was so back in the day. Like, what you got going on now? And another thing, if you was a hustler, like, a lot of people get it construed with the terminology hustler. If you're a hustler, you could sell waters, you could sell hats, you could sell t-shirts.
Anything.
If you're going to get to $1, you're going to sell it like hotcakes.
Exactly.
You understand? It has no discrimination in what you're selling. If you're a hustler, you're going at it. And a lot of people, you know, get stuck in there telling these long, drawn out war stories and these back in the day getting money stories. And I'm like, well, if you was a hustler then, you would still come off the bench hustling, but just in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? You take that and rear it off in another area. But the thing is, a lot of people was hand spoon, you know, with their little feet or whatever, and people gave them stuff or they took stuff. And you can't do that now without major repercussion. And now they just kind of like assed out and they broke and fucked up.
I told women, I was like, man, there's a lot of dudes y'all be thinking had money. They was on consignment.
Exactly.
They was getting a lot of stuff.
Riding the next man's coattail.
Yeah. Like, I remember a time a chick was like, yo, I always use this scenario as a real talk. She was like, man, I just sat and counted like 30,000 with the nigga the other night. He get boxed in. He begging for rent. I mean, for bail. And she didn't understand. She was like confused. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't got no money. Like, what the fuck he calling, making her feel bad. And she's like, I just counted. I was like, I had to tell her, like, yo, well, that wasn't his. He had to turn that in. Like, I was like,
that money over.
Yeah, like that's big homies. Like, she was like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you put your woman in an uncomfortable situation because of what you wanted her to believe you was, and you wasn't. So back to like now, even now dating, there's a lot of men still with these different mentalities, man. Like different mentality, and some of them still stuck in, like you said, in the past, bro. Still stuck in, like, you know what I'm saying, the Ghostbuster days. Nigga.
It's
like,
bad though, but it's bad. It's a lot of men, and I'm just saying, as being a single woman, dating and talking to different people, because even outside of the dating, I'm very social with a lot of guys or people I knew back in the day. And it's just like the mind frame did not mature and move on, especially if they were locked up. If they were locked up, they're that same age that they were when they went in. And the bad part about it is they be trying to run game or think they talk in circles around you, and they really sound dumb because you been out here moving around, so you done had all this growth. You like accustomed to this and that, and they're like stuck in this box, and it's like it just don't click in their head. So I'm like, you don't even have to be acting big or acting tough or act like you're getting it or telling me what you used to get, because that shit is irrelevant. Like, what is your motion now, and what do you have going on for yourself now? And a lot of them, to be honest, and I'm not trying to be smart, I'm not throwing rocks. A lot of them, I notice it comes from the ones that's normally still living home with mom. The ones that have minimum paying jobs. They may have kids, but since they've been locked up, the kids might be older, done grew up a little bit. So that means they wasn't probably present in the children's life. You know what I'm saying? So now you coming in on the back end, and you could kind of peek in the adult's life, as the child that you supposed to have raised. You could peek in their life and still play daddy, but you really was absent. So they have like a lot of mental things going on in their head, and it's like they trying to keep up. So then when they meet a pretty decent woman, all them insecurities and stuff is just like working overtime in their head. So it's kind of hard to get past it. And if you a pretty much thorough woman, you could see through some of the stuff. But it's like, do you give up on that black man, or do you try to get him to see some of the things that you say? It's just like tug of war.
We evolved. I mean, y'all have evolved so much. Like what I was talking about before on the show, it was like y'all evolved. Like we evolving differently. Like black women are evolving this way. Like for example, I always use this movie, and I tell people, watch the movie Fences. Like it's a back in the day Fences, and the dude name is Troy. Denzel Washington played Troy. And that was how it was back then. Troy came home, brought home the bacon, brought home his check. She gave him a couple $2 from his check, and Troy went out and played for the weekend. Troy even had a girl around the corner. Got her pregnant. Yeah, got her pregnant and everything. And he expected so that's what the black men did back in the day. And we were taught to be a protector and provider. That's what we were taught.
But you know what? That's the thing. They're not able to protect and provide now.
Exactly.
And they want to
But the black woman has moved out the house now. She's not waiting for him to bring home the bacon. The black woman is bringing the bacon home now. So the black man has not evolved. And some of us are insecure because she is bringing the bacon home, and you're having a tough time accepting it and processing. But let's go back to the doughboy guys. They was used to being the bread, getting money. Man, I hold it down. You ain't him no more, bro. You work for Wonder Bread now. You're a delivery truck driver for Amazon. Like, so you ain't getting that kind of money, and it's okay. But your woman still is. Your woman got a career. She 40-something about to retire. You 50-something just getting a career, like just getting in the game. So you got to work a couple years because you ain't worked to get your Social Security. It's so many factors that factor in that men and women just totally, especially black in our culture, has not evolved the same. We just haven't evolved the same. You guys taking off. Y'all were the leading entrepreneurs.
That's funny. You know what? I respect that you willing to be man enough to tell me that, because I had a guy that I was talking to. This was like months ago, and I was telling him, I said, black woman is holding it down. I said, we get into the bag. Yeah, I said, a lot of y'all black men is falling behind.
Way behind.
He gonna tell me, these black women don't have more money than no black men. Mind you, he was incarcerated for a whole ton of time.
That's why.
But he's telling me this, that, and the third.
Nigga, you
and
tripping.
I'm sitting up here like thinking to myself, how much do you make? Can I see your fucking income tax return? Like, can I see the records? For you to say that, because what I'm speaking on is facts. I could provide income tax records to back what I'm saying up. But I'm sitting up here looking at him like he's crazy. So, then further conversation later on down the line, he's asking me how he fixed his credit, and I'm just giving little tips and stuff. But I'm sitting up here thinking to myself, I thought the black man get more money and had more money, and that wasn't true. That we was handling our business. He must do his
research, because black women were the leading. I think it was 2020 or 21. Were the leading new entrepreneurs in this country of America. They were the leading culture and entrepreneurs black women were a couple years ago. So if any man sits there and tell you that the black woman hasn't evolved and advanced more, he sadly needs to do his research, because like you just said, for Emmix, for example, he's been incarcerated a few times where black women ain't been incarcerated. They've been working.
Exactly.
Like they've been working.
Our butt
yeah, they've been
out
working.
Here.
Like they've been
going to school,
going to school, getting doctorate degrees.
We've been taking trades as well.
Yeah, like y'all been at the bag for years. We are just now catching on. Yeah, getting in these jobs and getting, like I said, like getting, like some of us don't even know the difference between a job and career. So like working
That's the majority.
Working at Walmart, bro, working in the cafeteria, working in the school bus driver, that's not a fucking career, dog. Like, that's not a career. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate on nobody, but a career is something you can leave one day and have another. For me, for example, something happened to me a year or two ago. I got removed from one job on Tuesday. I had another one on Friday. I had another Friday because I have a career, bro. Like, that's the difference between a job. A job is you looking, I got to find a job. That's when you look. When you have a career, you can just call somebody like, yo, you do what? Oh, yeah. That's a career. Something you do that's needed. You are needed in this field. So that's what a career. Like if you, or a fucking, even if you like a food and beverage director, you direct food and beverage for a casino. Like that's an important job because that's a lot of people don't know. That's what makes casinos a lot of money too. Is food and beverage. Everybody think it's the casino gambling, but they go hand in hand. The food and beverage department and the casino, they go hand, because even if they take a hit on the casino side, like motherfuckers hit them, that food and beverage is gonna carry.
Eat and drink.
Yeah, it's gonna carry them. So therefore, a lot of people don't know like that part of it, like being in that being a cook for a chef, a head chef. These are trades you can be that's needed, like a head chef.
Very well needed.
Yeah, and you can make money.
People want to eat.
Yeah, people want to eat, especially in this country, fat ass country. People, everybody foodies and shit. You can even, like, real talk, man, you could be a head chef and then open up your own spot, man. There's so many ways you can make money.
But that goes back to what I said. If a person is a hustler, these are the things they're going to take in consideration, and these are the things that they're going to use to their advantage. If you're a hustler,
right.
If you're thinking really money-wise, you're going to find out what is the things that people need.
Right.
What are the things that's in demand? What are the things that I can make money in and really have a little come up?
Right.
But for a person that's in a box, they kind of just, you can't tell them nothing. They're not open to no different ideas. They just have their own plan and they trying to work it.
So my question to you is, before I lose my train, what are you saying to these, when you hear these different conversations to these men? Like, are you shocked more and just listen, like, I can't believe I'm hearing this shit? Or are you more trying to be like helpful, like, hey man, it ain't how shit go, or hey man, I think you should.
It's really a mixture of both, because I was at a place where as though I felt like I'm a ride for the black man. I'm going to help him. If it's something that I could offer or render, I'm going to help him. Even if I'm helping myself in certain areas, because at the end of the day, I have 5 kids. So any little assistance or any help that I give is a help.
Right.
And when I say 5 kids, 3 of them is grown and 2 of them is still underage. But at the end of the day, I sometimes look at it like, if I'm a single mother.
You look amazing for 5 kids.
Or
you do. I just want to let you know.
Thank you. If I was able to have 5 kids, and I'm not saying I have no perfect fairy tale story. I have 2 deceased baby fathers. One was shot in the head and killed, and the other one died while he was incarcerated. But at the end of the day, if I would have let that determine where I was supposed to be, I wouldn't accomplish anything. I wouldn't have accomplished anything at all. I would have just quit and gave up. But it was instilled in me early age. Look, says go to college, get a degree, find a trade, learn to do something with yourself and make your way. And that's what I stuck to. So when I hear men coming out and they making excuses or they have a sob story, and I'm like, I have a sob story too.
Right.
I have 2 dead baby fathers, which put more responsibility on me and on my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I could overcome that and fight through that, like, why can't you? And then that's not needless to say, not to even go a little deep into it. Like, 2015, I don't know if you were still watching when at that time my 15-year-old daughter was in a coma, and that transition happened, and I thought she was going to die, or she basically died, and we fought through that. She made it. Thank God. She's in nursing school. She didn't miss a beat. With that, you know, she's 23 now. No, 24 now. She's 24 now in nursing school, and she's doing good for herself.
Look at that.
But just to know that I fought through that, I overcame that. Right. Sometimes when I hear these men's stories, I'm like, yeah, your story's sad, but...
You complaining, bro.
You know, you complaining where I had to suck it up. I remember when my daughter's father got shot in the head, and it was front page in Norristown. You know, a drug transaction went wrong or whatever happened. And I was like in the final semester of graduating, get my degree, and I was in an accelerated program. So to miss a day was like missing a week or two. So I could not really mourn. I couldn't like really cry. I couldn't miss a day of school. I had to keep it moving. Knowing that we were sitting up there wondering how we was going to plan this funeral, and I had to look at this baby that was like 7 months in the face and be a single mother. So when I hear these stories, like, I hear you, but you know, I fought through this, that, and the third, so I'm really not trying to hear it. And a lot of people mistake me for, like, being rough and tough, but it's just like, you know, when you go through certain obstacles and you face adversity in the face, you kind of want to root for everybody else to, like, face this adversity in the face, map it out, find a plan, find what works with you, create, you know, a loving community or some kind of group that's going to encourage you. Right. You know, and push you out there to, you know, be a better person. Right. But believe it or not, a lot of people don't want better. They just want to have an excuse and a sob story. They don't want to accelerate.
It sounds like you date a lot of guys from the background, from, you know, I mean, that's your, and it's nothing wrong with that. Like, women were strong, our generation, women were strongly attracted to the street guy. Let's be honest, because that's what. Like, the 9-to-5
working guy was all right, but
no, it wasn't. Like, so
they just got cool. They was so
crazy. Yeah, because I seen the pretty boy nigga who used to get all the girls in middle school. Man, that nigga became a lame because he wouldn't get money. And I seen fat black art.
They doing good now. Yeah, them dudes doing good now. They CEOs. They have it their way.
And you be like, yo, he got such and such. Yeah, man, that nigga fucking, yo, we knocking him down, man. How the fuck? So it inspired the rest of us. Like, yo, I guess we gotta get money, niggas. That motherfucker. So it did push us outside. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women were attracted to that. You know what I'm saying? But the sad part about that story is that, like, because I got this story in my head, and before I lost it, a friend of mine, she said, and I hope she may know, but this is something that happened a couple years back, almost maybe 10 years ago, matter of fact, or maybe 5. She reminded me, I'm thinking about you, because you drive this nice car, you got a nice house, and she said, the nigga she started dating, man, because she started posting him, I said, you got a little dude out. She said, man, this nigga get on my nerves. I said, what's up? She said, you got a minute? Just give me Mr.Real Talk. Everybody used to call me they stuff. Yo, this nigga, she said he just want to keep going back to the hood, standing on the corner, taking pictures and shit. Like, she said she bought this nice crib. She said the nigga called her crib the resort. Yo, she said he would literally say, yo, you come to pick me up, bring me to the resort. Like, because he had that mentality. Yeah, she said this man had that street, like, he couldn't let it go. She said he'd rather be sitting on the corner, standing, taking pictures, at 40-something years old, taking pictures with the middle finger up and out there with them.
Not the middle finger.
Yes. She said, like, and the crazy thing about it, she was trying to show him different, but he couldn't get that, man. And I was in there like, are you serious? Like, she like, yo. And this, man, I wasn't in my 40s then, so I'm hearing this story like, man, I ain't trying to be that. Yeah. So that's what I do. I take a lot of stories I hear and be like, don't be that nigga. Definitely don't. And so when I heard it, I'm like, damn. Like, nigga, she said he just kept wanting to be, so she finally had to let him go. And I'm like, damn, like, so I say all to say, it's crazy that I look at you and I'm thinking, like, that could be like, you want to get this guy a chance. You want to see him win, but he just can't let that go.
Is not clicking it. But you know what? That's funny that you brought that up, because I dated someone recently, and me and you talked about this situation like last year. The person was raised in a project, and he always had these like project stories, and the mindset is just like it just happened yesterday, you know. So, you know how they say you could remove a person from that particular environment, but is within. You understand? You could take them and put them in a suburban area, but they're still going to be project.
You got
they on project time.
You gotta listen to Teddy Pendergrass, man.
They
gotta let it go.
Moving just like they in the projects. They could be in Beverly Hills, but they moving like they in the projects. And you like, yo, you gotta have a little bit of class, and you gotta switch it up a little bit, and you gotta let some things go.
You gotta evolve.
Yeah, they are not evolving.
You gotta want
and
more.
I don't know if it's the gel thing or if it's just being around other people with the broke mindset mentality. So the environment just takes hold. You have to see different things.
I'm gonna be just like the rest of these niggas. Like, I guess they settle for like, this is me. Because I heard dudes be in jail. Like, when I get home, I'm gonna get back at it. Get back at it. Like, I heard so many.
Getting back at it is what got you here. What you mean get back at it?
I'm talking about. I have so many friends say dudes when they was down, they said they was in there talking about when I get out, I'm like they was waiting on like. I've seen niggas waiting on other niggas to get it. This the one thing I never will understand is grown ass men waiting for another grown ass man to get out of jail to take care. Yo, when such get out, it's gonna be on. Are you fucking serious?
Counting the other man's pockets.
You wait for another grown man to get out of jail to provide for you and your family?
Counting his pockets.
Nigga, so we gotta strongly look like we gotta get ourselves off this mindset of like waiting on or thinking we older now. We're 40. We 40. Me and my barber years ago, he was cutting my hair. It was like, yo, you heard such got killed? And we was like, yo, if you 30-something years old, 35 plus, you still get, like, basically you still in that world. Like, at a certain age, you shouldn't hear about certain people like got shot or killed. Or if they did, it was like, yo, he was beat, him and his mom, boyfriend got it. Something like that. You domestic or something, you understand. But when you hear him, man, they shot him up. Fuck was he still doing, dog? He still was out there. What the fuck? Bro, like, so it's just at a certain age, you just, like, you know what I'm saying, man, it's funny, because, again, like, I know, like, you know what I'm saying, I know I'm going to die one day, but there's certain things I know I'm not going to die of a shark attack, because my ass ain't going to be out there in that fucking water. I'm not dying of a shark attack, I'm not getting gnawed by a bear, nigga, I'm not getting gnawed by a lion, because I'm not nowhere near the motherfuckers, and if I do, I'm running. I'm just saying, I'm going to die, but I know how and that's the same thing you got to have. When you, like, like my chance of getting shot and killed is less likely because I'm not out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in the black community, which is dangerous. Don't get me wrong, because you could just get an argument with a nigga and it could happen. But the chances are less likely when you're not in that dumbass world, when you're not involved in dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just it, man. Like, you know, I go outside to have a good time, drink, you know, mingle, talk, you know, entertain, you know, socialize with black folk. See, I love seeing black folk win. I fuck with good black folk, man. And I always say this, and I say for real, I think it's going to come to a point in time where we going to separate. We're going to be like, yo, it's us and it's them niggas over there. Because them niggas over there ain't getting it. And it's fine. You going to always be like that. That's cool. Be over there. But I'm over here, dog. I'm not. Go ahead with that shit, man. I'm not a part of that. I want to hear the war stories and that's fine.
What do you think could, like, really contribute to that? Like, you know, I always look at, like, the crab in the barrels, little syndrome thing, and I also look at, you know, you always find them black men that say, well, the system this, the system that, and the this, that, and the third, which I sometimes still think is like just a cop-out, because there's a lot of people that has been incarcerated, come out, make a great living, have a successful story, and they learn from their mistakes, or they could have been falsely thrown in a correction system, and, you know, they make a way for themselves. So I look at that as an excuse as well. But what do you think is the real contributing factor for black men not being able to rise and really make things happen, whereas though black women and black men are like kind of like equal, they on the same playing field?
Well, like we just said, we come from the doughboy era, the doughboy era, where a lot of us depended on poisoning our own people and depending on either Dr. Umar said it was pretty dope. What he said? He said it was either one or two things. The black man, they took the jobs out of the community. They took the jobs from the black man, and then they installed drugs. So you either on drugs because you was dealing with the depression of you can't provide for your family, you was fucked up. So you was like, fucking, I'm just fucked up on drugs, and that's my excuse. The drugs got me. So now I don't got responsibility because I'm letting you know I'm junkie. Fuck it. So you know and you still get love as a junkie. Don't get like for the junkie get more love than the nigga who say I give up. You know, I just out here bumming. Like, so You know what I'm saying? Or you was the one selling the drugs to your own people. So you had to pick your choice. So now we evolved to our age now where we're in our late 30s, 40s. And a lot of us, like you said, moved away from that element. Like women, like a lot of black women don't want the doughboy no more. You still would love to have the retired one who still has all the shit. And but y'all kind of moved away from it because you don't want that, bring that shit to your house, and you got to be smart. Like, yes, I'm attracted to you. I love you. You my type, but nigga, I ain't for that shit no more. So the man has just not evolved. They still stuck in that mentality, man. They just like it's sad. Like I said, so to change that, for example, I just seen this list and I screenshot it. It's on my phone. There's this list that was like the top 15 highest income celebrities in the country, in the U.S. It was 15. 8 out of 15 of them were black billionaires. 8. Do you know it only take maybe one of them to change our whole entire culture, provide jobs, bank system? We don't have a bank system. We can't, like the Jewish could go to a bank, borrow money.
Exactly.
Like they can even create a bank system where like we can go to and they can give us a class. Before we loan you money, we're going to pitch you a class to teach you how to pay it back and do the right thing. We're going to help you build your own community. Like, it only take one of these motherfuckers. They billionaires. Every one of them, Tyler Perry, Michael Jordan, LeBron James was on his list. Oprah was on his list. Tiger Woods, which we don't consider black, but he was on the list. It was like 8 of them. And I'm sitting there like, wow. Like, you know, there's a couple of them who trying, but to really change our community, the man, he has to learn how to provide for his family.
But you know what?
So, because that's our insecurity. So our insecurity is 3 things, right? Is in my opinion, for a black man, I'm telling you, as a black man, our insecurity is,
what?
You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk is some things we can't control, too. We can't, like, you know what I'm saying? But our penis size is one. If we, I mean, like, real talk. That's insecurity. Y'all heard short, you know, I mean, y'all heard
shorty,
shorty doo-wopping. You know, that's insecurity. You know, so yeah. So and then your height. You know, a lot of black men can't get that height. You know, so they got that short man complex. And then your money, but for financial is big within a relationship. Index size,
major.
So if you lacking both, or you ain't got one,
so now you hostile.
You hostile. It's a hostile
you
environment.
Mad. You mad at everybody.
Yes.
You coming up short in all areas.
Yeah,
now I'm a punching bag because you're short.
Yeah, and then you go out. Why we gotta go here? Why we gotta eat here all the time? Like, it's all these
but
different...
But you know, those be the ones that talk the most stuff and be trying to be so player with the multiple women. And I never understood it because I just be thinking like, if you walking around with a little dick, little funds...
I eat good pussy.
Like, how could you be so cocky and confident? Because back in the day,
that's y'all fault, though. Y'all not telling me you got a little dick.
When the men was being player and they had multiple bitches, they was paying what they weighed. Now they're bums and they're trying to pop their shit and they're just barely making it. You got a woman over here, you getting this one knocked up over here, and then you still trying to be playing. It's like, financially, it's not adding up.
What you like, just said, hit it on the nose.
Where's the money?
We went from the player era to the fucking doughboy era. And the player era and the doughboy was kind of hand in hand. The player became the hustler, the drug dealer. So now we in the junkie era. These motherfuckers on pills, perks, opioids, heroin. They fucked up. Like you see Kensington, like people.
And a lot of that
so we live in the junkie
mental
era
health
now.
Behind it.
There you go.
They're trying to put a Band-Aid on a wound and patch it up. Like, I always find that, you know, somebody that have to take something every day, they're just covering up a wound and they're not addressing the wound. Because anytime, let's be honest, I'm not knocking what nobody do, but you know, the majority of people in the hood smoke weed every day. They drinking every day, or they popping these pills. To have to do that as your everyday routine,
that's crazy.
You're hiding or trying to make up for something. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, it's not going to work until you address the issue and the problem at hand.
I think 2 things can help fix it, honestly, in my Mr. Real Talk opinion, is that, number 1, y'all got to be more vocal. Y'all have to, like, I don't care if they scream, y'all complaining too much, shut the fuck, like, that's the thing pissing me off about black. You got to do your research and understand why black women are, let me just say this to y'all black men. The reason why y'all complain, say they complaining, they not complaining, bro. If you do your history on black men and black women, we were weak individuals. Like, you got to remember, we was on plantations. We were scared to death. Like, women turned to men for protection and like, When as a man, if you walk down the street and you got your family with you and somebody come and attack y'all, you supposed to put your family behind you and say, get behind me. You know what I'm saying? What's up? And you supposed to be willing to die for your family and that's what naturally you're supposed to do. Not saying they do it, but come on, we wouldn't talk that. We were in slavery. A lot of us was pitting her. Go talk to him, Ethel. Go and talk to him. Master's getting crazy, homie. And that was the truth, though. Because they took the strongest men, and they made example out of the strong was on the plantation and beat the shit and desecrated. So our
cut limbs off and everything.
And so we were scared to fucking death. So that's why when I see some of these men act so tough, and I know the history, it's in you to be a bitch ass nigga, and it's okay. That's why I don't
fear.
How
do you think that repeats itself?
I don't fear.
And over, though?
I don't fear a man unless he was around a lot of men. He had uncles and brothers. But if a mama raised dude, I don't got it. I don't got you being like that, though. I'm just being honest. I don't got you cut like that. I just don't. Because you wasn't around enough men to understand what it takes to be a man. Like, it's a difference, bro. When you fight, your heart beat different, bro. When you win some shit, your heart beating different. Like, your adrenaline going, like, you thinking and, like, you know what I'm saying, maneuvering, like, this shit.
Fight or flight.
Yeah, like, man, shit, motherfuckers shooting. You like, man, shit, I remember one time up top, I'm at a club, these motherfuckers having a shootout. I got mine. I'm like, man, do I get him? Because I feel like you disrespecting me shooting my way. So I get involved. I'm like, nah, because you hit one of these that you got. So you got to think. So I just said, let me get under this motherfucking car because I'm telling you, but I got my joint. But then I said, I don't want to be. So you got to think. And you got to process. You can't panic. But, oh, shit. Most dudes might, like me, for me, I've been robbed before. I laughed when I got robbed. I literally laughed like, yo, nigga, you really robbed me right now. That's just me. I seen men get robbed crying, please, let me call my man, It's a difference, you know what I'm saying? Men have to understand, like, you know what I'm saying, your place, and it's okay, you know what I'm saying? That's what frustrates me when they say black women complain too much. I got off topic a little bit with that. This is why. It goes back to slavery, in my opinion, that there was black women didn't have an example. Like the white man led his household. He was always led his household. His dad led the household. He passed it on to the son. And so forth, exactly. Generational of the white woman has always seen a man figure because that's what they was raised. We didn't have that. You gotta remember, I'm married to you, and Master say, yeah, Jimbo across the street want to have your wife tonight, and I gotta let it happen because you're his property. So I'm married to you, and I know old Jimbo had his way with you last night, and I gotta come on wash you down. So we both crying and shit like two bitches in the sea. You know what I'm saying? I'm wiping you down.
Jimbo all up in it.
Jimbo all up in it and shot the club up. Now we have a baby. The baby light as a motherfucker. We two dark ass motherfuckers.
We know that's Jimbo, baby.
We know that Jimbo, baby, man, old Jimbo. And I gotta accept, and I gotta raise this baby with the rest of my kids like it's mine. And now this baby don't understand why he's so light and the rest of the kids so dark. And we gotta lie. Oh, nah, it's okay. It's all right.
But how does that keep recycling? Like, say that generation die off. Then the generation behind it. Because what is it in his blood?
Yes,
it's the makeup.
It's in your DNA. Your DNA is nothing.
And I really believe it because I'm just like, that slavery mentality
DNA
just keeps repeating itself.
It's like, for all jokes aside, your DNA is like a computer chip or computer code. It's one. So it's passed down to generation to generation. So I might look like, for example, me, I'm 6'6". Nobody in my family is this tall. Like, who the fuck I get this height from? So I'm thinking like maybe somebody, my great-great-grandfather, somebody had this height. Because I don't know, I can't explain it. So like, just like some of us look just exactly like, if we found a picture of someone, we look just like them. So that's what DNA is. It's something passed down. It's trauma. So a lot of us trauma has been passed down from slavery. We're only like a generation, like my grandma's grandma was a slave. That's how close to slavery we are. So we're not.
They say history repeats itself,
and that's what happens.
And that's what's going on.
We're still traumatized. We still have whatever the fuck that word is.
Yeah, PhD. PhD. Here I go. PhD. Now that is not the correct terminology. We have post-traumatic stress disorder.
From slavery. So when the black woman, they don't understand or see. Because black men, we know some of us, there was leaders. Don't get it fucked up. There still was leaders out here. Just like a lot of our grandfathers were leaders. My grandfather, from what I heard, was a great ass fucking leader. Great ass fucking grandfather. Great ass dad. He was the shit. So there was, as time evolved, the black man started evolving to some of these leader type dudes, who even fought for civil rights. Like, come on, like civil rights and Black Panthers and shit like that. some of us started arriving and showing what it looked like. So as soon as black women start seeing men, like you said, Troy on fences, Troy said, I don't want to be a truck, I want to be a truck driver. He became the first black truck driver. He aspired to be that. I'm going to be the first black truck driver. Fuck that. And he did it. That's what black men did back then. They challenged they say we can't, I'm going to do it. Then that went away when they took the jobs out of the community, and then the drug era came. They pushed drugs in our community, and so it weakened the black man. The black man don't know what to do. He confused. I can't provide for my family. I can't work.
Let me ask you.
But here's the thing, though. Y'all always been accepted. Black women has always been accepted in the house and out the house. Always. They don't like us. Y'all was always accepted. Even in corporate world today, you see, the black woman is accepted.
But you know what? They starting to fear us a little bit.
Because y'all are evolved.
They're starting to fear us a little bit.
Because y'all evolved to doing what? Entrepreneurship. I don't need you
no
more either.
But
I got my side hustle make more than this hustle.
They're starting to treat us like they treat the black men a lot of times. I mean, granted, we could weave and dodge and duck and get through some of the crevices, but now a lot of the higher corporate industry fear a black woman and really want to still keep us low tier. Like, I'm just giving an example. It could be a Caucasian man have these particular credentials, and then it could be a black woman that have these credentials. She could have a wealth of experience. She could have, all this knowledge. And they do not want to give her top pay. They want to still low baller. But then they'll bring the Caucasian man in and pay him top tier, and he don't even have a wealth of experience. So it's still an inferior thing near. But we get a little further than y'all do. Yeah. But look at the system. They killing us now just like they killing the black men. When they show up at a black woman household, we're fearful too. When we get pulled over, it's not guaranteed that we're going to walk away with all our working body functions, So, even our kids are not safe.
But like I said, two things get changed. Help change that. It's y'all. Number one, y'all help be more break it down to him. Like why I'm complaining, because I haven't seen. So just tell me straight. I haven't seen a lot of y'all say y'all grown men, but y'all grown boys. So I've seen more grown boys than grown men. So until you show me different, then I'm open to that. So if he can't receive that, then bye boy. That's it. So
they don't realize we're better together as a unit. Now I think black men think black woman is so against them, only because sometimes we have to give them the harsh reality, and they can't handle it as a black man. They think you throwing daggers at them.
Here's the thing, though.
So they want you to kind of coddle them and say it a particular way for them to take it in. But now we're warring. The black woman and the black man is warring.
I always said it. We're screaming at each other across the aisle. But here's a reason why, too. A dude just told me about a scenario back. He had something here. The first thing I asked, I said, yo, the dude finished school? I said, is he educated? Nope. I said, there you have. As soon as he told me that, I knew why, dude. That education plays a major fucking role, and that's the first thing. So that's up to you. But I'm telling you right now, if you date a guy, he ain't finished school or he dropped out, I'm gonna say 1 out of 10 it might be solid. But the rest of them niggas got that. They just not educated. They don't know how to. They don't have it enough.
They don't know how to process.
That's one thing we learn in school. So to be social, because that's what school is. We social. We learn friends. We learn a lot of workshops going to school. Just simply getting up, going to school every day is a responsibility. So we learned that going to school. We learned we couldn't be late. Now we can't be late going to work. We learned all these different responsibilities. We learned the refer.
So if he was cutting, he wasn't showing up at school. He's not being responsible, and the same thing with going to a regular 9-to-5 job. He's not going to take it serious because he's not accustomed to doing it. He's accustomed to doing what he wants, cutting class, or not even getting up out of the bed to go to school to show up.
And there you have
it. So I see the conditioning and what it was supposed to instill, and it comes with the people in the
like
environment.
Said, when you have that conversation with it, he can't process it because he's not educated enough.
He's not able to.
He's not. You just want.
All the lights.
He's like Charlie Brown, mom. Want. So he can't process it.
So now you're nagging.
You're nagging, complaining.
Now you're the mad black woman.
So here's I made a scenario, and I want to make this like this. Is what happens in the household. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let's take you have a black man, black woman, and the black woman starts saying, like. Yo, we both making money now. He get money too. He thinks he's providing because he got this big house for you, got a nice car outside. Y'all take care. He not even cheating, but when he comes home, he go in his little man cave, and he don't want to be bothered. But the black woman, she gets up in the morning, she cook for the kids, she sends them to school, she make breakfast for everybody, him and the kids. You know what I'm saying? And then she goes to work. And while you at work, you know what I mean, all in your high director job and shit, you all high and proud. I'm a black man. I'm doing good with myself. But then she comes home. She got to pick the kids up. Then she got to take them to practice. Then she got to after practice, she got to do homework with them. Then after homework with them, then she got to feed them. Then after she feed them, she got to feed you and the kids. You just walk in, mosey on in.
Hey, baby. For the next day.
Hey, baby. Yep. Love you. We're going down. Now you're in your man cave. You are totally took yourself out of the household.
Oblivious to what's going on.
What's going on. But you think you're the best husband ever because you came home, you got this big house, you doing well for yourself financially, but you're the best husband ever.
That's just how we go. That's just how it works. A burnout.
Yeah, then you know what I'm saying, after she does all of that, she cooks and she feeds y'all, then she gotta have the energy to come upstairs and suck the shit out of you so you won't go outside nowhere. And then have the energy to wrap her hair up and go to bed and do it all over again the next day. And all you do is wake up, brush your teeth, hey baby, I love you, and go out the door. So black men don't even realize that they missing. And in the household, then because I know couples like this all the time, they just fell apart. They evolved differently. So the solution to that is the man, you have to get more involved with more of the activities. You got to insert yourself more in the let me pick up the kids. I'll take them. Like, first of all, you got sons. Why the fuck she take them to practice? You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be more, I do this with them and you do this. Like, even if you gender role, like she take the girls, you take the boys. Don't matter. You have to insert yourself more. But a lot of men think, I'm telling you, that they're husband of the year, the man of the year, because those simple things, man, I provided this house.
But if they saw their single mother doing this, sometimes I'm thinking they should have a little bit more compassion, because you saw your mother washing them clothes, you saw your mom going to the market, you saw her, doing the kids' hair, you saw her school clothes shopping, you saw her helping with homework, you saw her at the parents and teacher meetings. You saw her doing all these things and struggling, and yet
it don't register.
It still don't register that when you get a woman, you know what, is entitlement then. You feel like that's a woman's job and that's what she's supposed to do. Facts. So now it's like my hands is clean. All I do is got to pay a couple of bills, show up in the household,
and I don't go, and I'm not cheating.
And I'm not cheating, and I'm being the best man I could be.
I'm a good man. So what happens is, here's what happened in that situation. The black woman starts, basically he didn't involve with her. They was in their 20s. They went to college. They met in college. They had family. He didn't involve with her. So she starts saying little stuff like, baby, you good, I mean. And then when he starts saying, well, damn, I'm a good man. I don't go out. I don't do nothing, man. You always complaining, man. God damn.
That's how we go.
Then separation starts. He's complaining. She's saying, yo, you're not giving me more. I need more of you. I need you here. He like, what the fuck is you? He clueless. Then what he start doing? He start going playing into his coworkers and shit. Man, then what happens then? The girl, man, I wish you was my husband. I wouldn't do that. I know I'm a good dude. So she start calling, start listening to her.
Now they sleeping together.
Now he
Long
cheated.
Story short.
He cheated, and she bent. So they start slowly but surely separate. Now they both added. They fell like you complain. All you do is complain. And she's saying, you just ain't, you ain't what I wanted. You ain't fun no more.
But you don't see, like, in the white households, like,
that happens with them too.
It does, but you can see Bob and Pam going at it for a lifetime behind closed doors, but they still staying together as a unit. They gonna raise them kids and wait till them kids is grown and out of high school and then college.
They was taught that.
Then they're going to separate and take half of that money that they accumulated together,
because that's what
split it up, and then live their second tier of their life. Where black people, it stops with a lot of them.
We didn't see
with
that.
them making a baby, and the man not
Jerome left.
being bothered.
Jerome left.
Got a baby with Tanya down the street. So he not with Keisha no more. So now Keisha,
and he not take care of Keisha.
Exactly.
Baby. So Jerome completely
and
moved.
that's a terrible cycle that is repeated day in, day out, day in, day out. So it really just starts with us and like trying to work together, because the black man and the black woman going to have to work together, like even whether it's now or later. We going to have to come together. But you know, society had it where they wanted it. You know, they had all these different alphabet letters where they wanted to chop down. No, you know, no discrimination. People do what you want. You know, that's how I feel. You know, whatever you like, you like. Whatever I like. But I'm just saying it was systematically planned that way, because if you don't have the woman and the man procreating,
they separate.
You're not having a black race.
I say it all the time.
Continuing on, or these men or these women are not having a legacy lived on, because a lot of times you just have the woman and a woman and the man on a man now, or the whatever on whatever now. And then
all these
also, you know, before that, it was the whole thing with the Section 8 thing, where a lot of the men couldn't even be in the household. You know, they had to be a single woman. She had to have a certain income. You know, just her and the kids. And the black man was either out of the household or in jail, whether he was falsely accused of something or whether he actually did the crime. So once the black man had a record, certain jobs was off limits. He couldn't do certain jobs. So now the black woman is problem solving herself. So now we're the protectors, the providers. You know, we holding everything down, and still yet we're looked at to this day as the angry black woman. And that's the thing I have a problem with.
I have a problem with it too. Because like I said,
you need to put respect on our names, because we really hold it down. Like, you wouldn't have these doctors, lawyers, nurses, you know, psychologists, bus drivers. You know, you wouldn't have these people if you didn't have a lot of us strong black women that, you know, brought these kids up and raised them and reared them right. You know, and did a hell of a good job. Are they going to have flaws? Yes, because we're supposed to be equally yoked. The man has something to give to the kid, and the woman has something. It has to be a balance. That's why it takes a man and a woman to make a baby, so they could get both components from both sexes and both parents. When we don't get that, we lack something. Facts. So as we lack something, we taking that out in the real world, and them insecurities and those issues are spilled into our relationships. Now they unhealthy. We fighting, we arguing, everybody mad.
Damn, man, that's
it's a
everything
vicious
you
cycle.
Just said is 100. And like I said, like, again, if you're a history buff, you even, and I ain't researched this. See, a lot of stuff I researched before I said, but I stopped a little bit. But this one, at one point they said the slave master was killing off the black man. Like they had this like big white meeting. I heard like where all the plantation owners, and they said, do we need the men? And they was like, they was scared to kill us off. Like they was scared to just use y'all to do all the slave work. But it took for y'all to step up and say, are you, like, please don't do that. Like, please, like, beg. So if black men, a lot of men don't know that shit. Like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. Like, so that's what pisses me off. Like I said, I'm strong. I'm straight pro black.
We ride or die. We ride or die more than any other race out here.
And you go from that to then rap music coming, y'all bitches and hoes now.
Exactly.
So y'all done went from that to now straight, and it's sad that
we went from Nubian queens to bitches and hoes.
Hey man, sister, you look so good, Nubian queen from the 70s, and like
now it's fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, so
real quick.
And the crazy thing about it is that was like it started kind of like rap music. NWA was one of the first groups, bitch.
But who
and they came out in the 90s.
Who own these radio stations?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So it's all systematically planned and designed.
But we have to wake up and say, aha.
They're not waking up.
Well,
they're not waking up. And it's sad. And it's because you know what? You know how like in a lot of the Ice Cube movies, you had the black man that was woke, and then it was the ones that wasn't woke. There's so many that still sleep, that's not woke, that don't understand the system and how it works. And you know that old saying, it's chess, not checkers. Facts. You understand? They don't know their next move or how to plan their next move. Yeah. So then they are panicking, and they're on there franticing. You know, it's like a frenzy. Like, it's just a big thing for them now. It's like nobody knows what to do. Everybody's just running around like a chicken with their head.
I must say this, though. Real shit. I'm going to be honest with you, man. So I lived in Maryland, the Maryland DMV area. One thing I did realize between...
What was it like living in?
I'm about to tell you the difference between men down there and the men up here. The men down there are more educated. They went to college. They got military background. They more, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, wow. They more, but they not now. They still don't got that like dope that shit y'all love. That nigga shit. But one thing I did realize being in that area that the men were more educated, meaning they could think and say yo before they react. That's what being educated. You think. A lot of black men up here, we reacted like, what that nigga say? And now we in some dumb shit. It takes 5-10 seconds to get in some dumb shit and take a lot of money to get out.
It takes a lifetime to get out.
So therefore, that comes to education. And like you say, you've been educated to process what just happened and know, like, if I do this, this is going to be consequence. This might happen. So if I do it, maybe I should put a little thought to it. Don't get caught. But a lot of us don't think that. Let me do that shit. It's cameras everywhere. You just killed this nigga broad daylight, cameras everywhere. No, nigga, you about to go to jail. The news. Yeah. Now you going to jail, nigga. Now you going to jail the rest of your life. Now 2 lives is taken, yours and a person. So 2 fathers is removed from the community. So then the cycle happens again. Probably son grow up, just like what the movie was. OG Bob Johnson, his son grew up, and then went. It's sad that we have movies from back then that's telling the story of today.
Still relevant.
Yeah. So. My thing is, like I said, what we talked about earlier, what can help change is y'all. And honestly, like I think like financial stability, if we start to build our own economy, if somehow, some way, these celebrities or motherfuckers with wealth, just start building our own system of support. Because someone whispered this to me years ago. But they was like, man, actually Martin Luther King was the worst thing for black people. Man, I almost wanted to fight him. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? Now, he was black.
I get it, though.
So I was like, what the fuck? But then he said, this is why. Because before segregation, we had no choice but to deal with each other and fuck with it. We didn't have no choice. Yep. He said we had to fuck with each other.
We stuck with each other.
Now we all segregated. You got Coons and Uncle Toms and every motherfuckers. We all over the place. Where back then we had no choice.
And a lot of us trying to be accepted by other cultures.
Exactly.
Whereas though when there was segregation,
you couldn't.
The blacks had to stick together. They had to come together.
You had to be in the.
You understand? So I think we got more done that way. Mm-hmm. But it's still, what's going on is the majority of us is mixing with other nationalities anyway, and all you have to have is a little bit of drop of this black magic in you, and
you still gonna come out black.
You could be considered black.
Yeah, we're the most dominant
exactly.
DNA
you
on the
can
planet.
Put us with any
race and you're going to see. Yeah, it's going to come out black.
And what happens when you're the chosen one? You're attacked by everybody. When you are the chosen one, you're going to be attacked.
I just hope we got to get up out of here. It's been a great fucking episode. Thank you. This has been the dope. Like we definitely got some good shit off, man. I appreciate you and hopefully have you on again. We talk about some more shit, man. Miss Tiffany on here, man. She's been a great guest. And ladies, this like Real Talk, man. She is a living proof of this. Because you got 5 kids, this. I mean, I ain't gonna tell you what she pulled up in, man. You know what I mean? She pulled up some not no little car. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, she ain't did some regular chick. She doing her. So there's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're behind an 8 ball. Fellas, same thing, man. There's no excuse, man. If you have to go get your education, educate yourself, man. And learn and adapt, evolve, fellas. We got to evolve, man, and evolve to these women and understand them. We got to have these conversations like this, man, to get better, man, as a black community, man. So
and stick together.
Black
men and black women have to
whether we're in a relationship or not, we can just be friends and support each other. Real talk. And honestly, guys, real shit, men, y'all be cooking in jail. Come on, but start cooking, making platters. I know it's funny as shit, but this niggas be in jail, some chefs.
Get their money.
Yeah, come on, be a fucking do dinners. Do platters. So, man, so many ways to make money, man. But that's what, you know what I mean, we talked about, man, relationships and trying to build relationship within our community. And like, you know what I'm saying, with the stuff she's seen and witnessed and the men she encountered. And then I gave a little piece of the women that's out here. So I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Another episode of Mr. Real Talk. Man, see y'all next week on Real Talk, man. That's all. That's all.